Joane Wissa could miss another 8 weeks. Eddie Howe has been speaking in the build-up to Manchester City, and Newcastle United have been linked to an Ecuadorian centre-back. Yes, Geordies, welcome back to another episode. And how cold is it at the minute? Bloody hell, it's freezing out there. So I thought I would just tuck myself nicely in my little office, make YouTube videos all day. Nothing is better. But Newcastle United do have a big game tomorrow. So what we're going to talk about in this video, well, you probably heard it at the start. We'll be looking at what Eddie Howe has had to say. We'll be looking at when Joane Wissa is going to return, if ever. And then we've also been linked to an Ecuadorian centre-back, somebody that I made a video about during the summer. So once again, I'll be trying my best to tell you everything you need to know about him. Let's start by having a look at what Eddie Howe has had to say in the build-up to Manchester City. He said, we're looking forward to the match. We have a lot to prove to ourselves after the last couple of away games in the Premier League. We're trying desperately to put that right. And I've said this before, this is a type of game where Newcastle United show up. Despite what's happened in the past, we've had a week off in the international break. We've had time just to reset, refresh our minds. The players went away, probably on holiday if they're not playing for their countries. And this type of game is where Newcastle United show up. And I want to see a performance. So I wouldn't be surprised if it actually caused Manchester City a lot of problems. But I do also think Manchester City will cause us a lot of problems. Just to clarify, I'm definitely not saying we're going to win, but it's definitely going to be a tough game. Just look at Manchester City's form. Look at Erling Haaland. He can't stop scoring. So it's definitely going to be a tough. Then he was asked about the fixture schedule, and he went on to say it's going to be a really enjoyable spell up until January. Look, I'm not going to read all that out here because he just goes on to say we're trying to yo-yo the Premier League with the Champions League and trying to get the right balance, which is exactly right. But I'm going to be truthful. We cannot complain about the fixture schedule because we are in a competition we want to be in. You can't have hopes to get into the Champions League and then complain about the Champions League. This is a beautiful time for Newcastle United. We're actually going really well in the Champions League, and we've actually got some winnable games coming up. So the team, the staff members, the club, the fans should absolutely be excited about this period. We do know that there's an extra 2 Champions League games, which again just is a bit intense on the fixture schedule. But we are where we want to be. There's no point hoping to get into the Champions League. And then once you get into the Champions League, complaining about the Champions League. These are the games that we should be excited for. And I'm definitely excited. And just like Eddie Howe said, he went on to say, we've actually got the squad to compete in this competition now. We just need players returning from injury, and they are very close. Now, I do know there's a lot of games, and it's hard on the players. But you ask any player, what would you rather do? Play every 3 days or play once a week and train? They're going to pick the games all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. Especially Champions League games. This is where you want to be. And speaking about players returning from injury, he gave us updates on Anthony Gordon, Nick Pope, and Tino Livramento. He went on to say Anthony Gordon is very close. He worked well during the break and he's touch and go for the game. We'll make a decision late. Nick Pope is trained well and there's no problems there. In regards to Anthony Gordon, we have no idea whether he's fit enough to start, fit enough for the bench, not fit enough for the squad at all. This could just be a play on words just to get Manchester City guessing who might start the game. But if I was to sit here and say he's going to start, he's not going to start, I'm just guessing. So I've got no idea, to be honest. And he also spoke about Tino Livramento. Now, this makes me smile. He is very close. He trained in the international break, which is great to see. He's such an important player for us, and it's great to have him back training with the group. He's done a lot of work. He's very professional, blah, 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 blah. Yes, we need Tino Livramento back ASAP. I do think Manchester City might be a game too soon, but there's something I just want to squash on Tino Livramento, because I was looking over Newcastle United news this morning, as you do when you're either lying in bed or sitting in the bathroom, and I come across an article, and that article was whispers suggest City could tangle Trafford in bait in a swap plus cash proposal, sweetening the pot to pry Tino Livramento loose. For Guardiola, it would be a low-risk move, so they would be selling a squad player while upgrading a fullback. I do actually think Manchester City need a right back, but just go elsewhere. You do not need Tino Livramento. He's happy. He's in a good place. He's developing well. Just let him be. He's an adopted Geordie now. But in truth, the article goes on to say if he has a good World Cup, if he's selected for the team, then Manchester City's interest in Tino Livramento will just strengthen next summer. This is where Newcastle United need to be brave. Give him a new contract. Protect your asset. Because even if he does try and move, or Manchester City put a bid in, the longer he has on his contract, the more money you'll get. But I'm going to be honest. Right now, I say Tino Livramento is untouchable. And for as long as he's under contract, it's up to us if we want to sell him or not. But I want to hear your your thoughts on that, because the media are going to do media things. Just think about the rumours from Isak to Liverpool started like at the beginning of last season. And this is what the media do. They plant the seed in order for the seed to grow. And then the closer the summer gets, the more intense the transfer rumours get. And we've also had an article written about Yoane Wissa. And Yoane Wissa could miss 8 more Newcastle United matches, including Manchester United, which is on Boxing Day, and Leeds, which is the 7th of January. So he might not even actually play for Newcastle United until after the Leeds game, which is on the 7th of January. That is obviously because AFCON. You all know my stance on this. We should never stop or prevent a player playing for his country. It's the biggest honour in football. So if Yoane Wissa wants to go to AFCON, he should absolutely go to AFCON, because this might be the only one he's got left. The article went on to read, despite the injury troubles, Yoane Wissa could still be back in contention in time for AFCON. AFCON takes place in Morocco from the 21st of December to the 18th of January. Now, it also lists the games that Yoane Wissa could miss. Now, in the last AFCON, DR Congo finished 4th. If they finish 4th again, that would take Yoane Wissa up until the game after Leeds. So yeah, it might be a little bit longer till we'll see Yoane Wissa in black and white. So what I've done today is I've had a look at our games up until the turn of the year. I've put a fixture calendar together. I'm quite proud of it, to be honest. It looks quite cool. Reminds us of something from FIFA. But they are all of our games up until the 1st of January. There's one game that I've left off, and that's Burnley at home on the 30th of December. That's just because I couldn't fit it in. So in that time, we've got 2 Champions League games, 1 Cup game, and 8 Premier League games. And I want to focus on the Premier League games because after 11 games, we're sitting 14th on 12 points. In my opinion, it's just simply not good enough. But there's, like I've said in previous videos, there's always going to be hiccups in some season. Think about it, right? In the Premier League, there's always that one team that just underachieves every single year. I'm not saying it's going to be Newcastle United, but there's going to be a time where it is us, because there's always that one team that just doesn't achieve the targets. That's just sport. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit. That's okay. But what I want to see is a little bit more consistency. So from now to the 1st of January, we've got 24 points to pick up in the Premier League. So that's 8 games left. Now, what I want to see from now till then is a little bit consistency, not only in our results, but our performances, because we can have a good performance 1 in 5 games, but I want that consistency in the Premier League. And I'm going to be perfectly honest about it. I know we've picked up points at home, but we haven't been great. I've never watched us this season and thought, yeah, we were excellent today. We scored a last-minute winner against Fulham. Against Nottingham Forest, we won comfortably, but that was because Nottingham Forest was so poor, and they were going through the motions, and we scraped a 1-0 win against Wolves. So even at home, we've not been brilliant, let's say. But against Manchester City, I've got a feeling that we will show up. And I'm not saying we're going to win the game, but I do think we'll cause Manchester City some problems. But what I want to see is a little bit more consistency. So after Manchester City, we've got Marseille away, which is going to be a tough game. Hostile, very tough. It's going to take a lot out of the players. But then we've got Everton away on the weekend. That's the game I want to see us performing. We don't even have to win. You can perform well and lose games, and that's okay. But I want to see us just offering a little bit more. So what I've done is I've had a look at our next 8 Premier League games up until the 1st of January, and I believe there's a possible 16 out of 24 points to win. Manchester City at home is the first game. Look, that's always going to be a tough game. Manchester City are on an incredible run of form, and we all know once they get into some rhythm, they start galloping, and they've got an incredible record at St. James's Park. It's just a myth that we do well against Manchester City. Everton away, that's a tough game. They've got their new stadium. They're very happy. The fans are behind the team. So it's going to be a tough game, but it's a winnable game. I actually think we'll draw at Everton. Tottenham at home sounds like a tough game on paper, but it's a winnable game. We've beat them already this season. I expect us to beat them again. And then we've got Burnley at home. Again, another winnable game, 3 points. And then it's Sunderland away. Look, I don't even want to think about getting beat. Like, it hasn't even crossed my mind. So I'm going to put that down as 3 points. I think that's me heart talking over me head, because I think that's going to be our most tough game up until January. But I can't bring myself to sit here and say we're going to get beat. So I'm going to put that down as 3 points. I'll change my mind when I do the preview. But for now, it's just a nice feeling to say we're going to beat Sunderland. And then it's Chelsea at home. And again, I think that's a winnable game. I don't think we'll lose a game. I think we'll either draw or win. And then Man United away on Boxing Day, I'm going to be honest, I think we'll get beat. And then Burnley away is a tough place to go. I actually think Burnley are just looking at their home games and wanting to win their home games to stay in the league. And Burnley's going to be a tough place to go. But being where we are in comparison to where they are, I expect us to get 3 points. If you want to qualify for Champions Leagues, you've got to be earning 3 points away to Burnley. So there's definitely some tough games, but there's also some games that we can pick up points going into the turn of the year. And I'll be happy with the victory against Sunderland, of course, but 16 points out of 24, I think that's realistic. But I want to hear your thoughts on that. Let me know how many points you think we'll get out of those 24 leading up to the turn of the year. But we've also been linked to an Ecuadorian defender. Now, I just want to blow my own trumpet for a little bit because this is a guy that I've been talking about since 2023. And in fact, I actually made a YouTube video on him the summer just gone saying Newcastle United should be signing him. I can't lie, I've got a funny little feeling somebody from Newcastle United are watching my videos. Nah, I'm only kidding. I wish they were. But it's just a nice coincidence because there's another midfielder we've been linked to that I will talk about very shortly. But let's start with Joel Ordóñez. I want to tell you everything I know about him and why he would be a nice fit for Newcastle United. So he's currently at Club Brugge. He's 21 and he stands at 6'2". Now he's a centre-back and he's got a proactive, front-footed, aggressive approach to his defending. Physical, assertive and willingness to engage in duels, and he's very comfortable in possession. Now he's well educated. He came through the excellent academy of Independiente del Valle. Now that is that is the best academy in Ecuador. No ifs or buts about it. The academy that brought through Moses Caicedo, Kendry Páez, Piero Hincapié, William Pacho, Justin Lerma, who's about to break through with Dortmund, and Chelsea have just signed a 15-year-old from that academy, Joel Ordóñez. And they've also got two twins that I absolutely love, the Quintero brothers. So the production line in their academy is incredible. And then he went to the Club Brugge Academy. Club Brugge Academy is probably the best in Belgium. So he's had education from the best academy in Ecuador and education from the best academy in Belgium. Now, the beauty about this guy, he's very experienced as well. He's played in the Champions League. He actually made 12 senior appearances for Independiente del Valle. He's made 97 appearances for Club Brugge, and he's already made 16 appearances in the Champions League. He's won the Belgium League title, the Belgium Cup, and the Belgium Super Cup. So who is he? What's his style like? Well, I'm not going to go into too much detail like I normally do because I do know just in the summer just gone, he's just signed a new deal. So he's now got a deal till 2029. So if Newcastle United want to sign him, they've got to pay the big money. Let's start by looking at his defensive traits because I've already mentioned he's a proactive, aggressive defender. He's physically really strong. He's got this nice robustness about him. Now, he's a type of centre-back that wants to engage, so he reads a game very well. He often steps out to close down wide attackers. He's very proactive in his defending, often stepping out the line of defending high up the pitch to stop the opposition in transition moments. Now, what I do really like about him is one-on-one situations. Now, with Club Brugge, he normally plays in the back four. Now, they have occasionally played with a back three, and he's played as a wide centre-back. When you play as a wide centre-back, you need to be very comfortable in one-on-one situations because you need to defend those wide areas. Now, Ordóñez is a wonderful one-on-one defender. He's got the physicality to compete with attackers, but he's also got that nice balance about him where he can change direction quite quickly for a centre-back, but he's also a centre-back that's very composed in his actions. When you're watching centre-backs, you tend to look at the distance they're keeping from the attacker and do they engage in the right moments. Now, they don't get it right all of the time because nobody gets 100% tackle success rate, but I would say the majority of the times he engages at the right moments, picks his moments very well. This when you know a defender is composed. So he's not a defender that will just fly into challenges at every opportunity. He's somebody that will press, hold, and engage when he has to or wants to. When it comes to his aggression, I've already mentioned that he's a proactive defender, so he will press opponents. He will be aggressive with opponents. Now, he's not lightning quick like Mickey van der Ven, but he's quick. He's got enough recovery pace if he's beaten, and that helps him in duels. Think about it. Club Brugge are one of the most dominant sides in Belgium. So they play with a high line because they're always imposing themselves on other teams. So you need players like Joel Ordóñez to recover those high lines when a ball does get played over the top. So he's used to playing in that high line. So what's he like technically? Is he good at playing out from the back? Does he initiate attacks? Is he progressive? Is he a safe passer? Let's break it all down. And again, quite similar to his defending. He's really composed in possession, technically very good. Club Brugge are one of the most dominant sides in their league, like I mentioned. So playing out from the back is something they always do. So Ordóñez has to provide that composure in possession. When you're one of the most dominant teams in your league, you often come up against very compact defenses. So you need players that are comfortable in possession to invite and bait the press. Because once you bait the press, that opens up space. So you have to have defenders that are comfortable in possession. This is why the teams like Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool want defenders that are comfortable in possession, because they need to be comfortable enough to invite the press. Once they invite the press, the opposition's shape is broken. Then you can try and play through it. Does that make sense? So his calmness in the build-up phase makes him a reliable defender in possession and to initiate attacks. He's happy to receive and progress a ball into midfield. I mean, he's averaging 76.5 touches per 90, which is incredible. Now, when it comes to dribbling, he excels at maintaining possession. He's happy to invite press and then lending the ball forwards. He uses his body well to shield the ball. He's agile enough to change direction effectively. Now, what I will say about his dribbling, he's not yet a complete line breaker, but you can see the signs are there. There is potential for him to be really aggressive with his ball carrying in the midfield because he's done it, but he just doesn't do it often enough. When it comes to passing, he excels at short and medium range passing. When it comes to long passes, that is an area of improvement. He's very good at spotting runners who are moving into space, but his accuracy, his timing, and just his delivery with the ball does need a bit of work with. And if we have a look at his stats, as you can see, the comfortability in possession is there. His pass completion rate is very high. He's also more progressive in his passes than he is his ball carrying. But again, touches per 90, very high. Now, one area he has massively improved is aerially. When he first came to Club Brugge, he really struggled aerially, but it looks like he's got his timing and his management right when he goes into aerial duels, which is pleasing because he's working on his weaknesses. So I want to know your thoughts. Do you think Joel Ordóñez is achievable? I do know Inter Milan, Liverpool, and a few other clubs are interested in him. And to be fair, I do see why, because he's got a lot of potential. He's not the finished article. And I think if he came to the Premier League, he would need a little bit more time than Malik Chow just to get up to speed with the intensity. But the signs are there that you've got a really impressive centre-back on your hands. Now, we've also been linked to Jorthy Mokio. Again, this is a midfielder that I would love in Newcastle United. Midfielder I've been speaking about even before he went to Ajax. Now, I've already made a full video on him on why Newcastle United should sign Jorthy Mokio. But even if we just have a look at these statistics, he's 17 years old and he is one of the most well-rounded midfielders you will come across. Very, very comfortable in possession. Breaking lines, he spreads play nicely, recycles possession nicely. He also works extremely hard out of possession, and he stamps his authority already at the age of 17 in that midfield. One area for improvement is probably creativity, but he's not tasked with that role at Ajax. His role is recycling possession, progressing the play up the pitch, and breaking up opposition attacks. That's exactly where you get the best out of Jorthy Mokio. He does contribute to the odd goal here and there, but again, Ajax have got more and better flashy players in that final third. His role at Ajax is not to be creative, but I would absolutely love somebody like Jorthy Mokio in Newcastle, but it would be an expensive one. But look, we'll end the video there. I want to hear your thoughts on everything we've discussed in this video. I want to hear your thoughts on Tino Livramento, the injuries. I want to hear your thoughts on the points picking up to the end of the year, but also Joel Ordóñez and Jorthy Mokio. Don't forget Yoane Wissa either, because that's important. But I will be doing a match reaction straight after the game tomorrow. So if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more Newcastle United news, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe out there because it's snowy, it's icy, so just be careful. But as always, enjoy your night, enjoy the game tomorrow. One last thing to say, away the lads.